a historian or a mathematician or any type of scientist, and you would have some connection to him. And of course, there's the ultimate transcendent connection, but sometimes coming from the outside world, it's a little bit easier to get in a different way. So it's such a pleasure to be here because, well, that's not the holiday I'm preparing for. I'm preparing for Hanukkah at home, buying presents for my nieces and my little nephews, and that's so much fun. And so Basi and I were talking today, and I've been thinking about the miracle of Hanukkah, and it's one of my, not my favorite holidays, but it's one of my fun. I enjoy it very much because I love the idea of the Jewish people as warriors, as strong, as battling against things and being victorious. And I think of all of you as like miracles. I mean, think about it. It's really, I mean, how many of you are in this room? How many are you together? 30?
45.
Good 45. That's miraculous. Think about where we come from and the history of our people, which is really the history of fighting annihilation. And here we are in modern times in a secular community, and there were 45 of you doing this remarkable work. It's so inspirational, it's so beautiful, and it's really quite miraculous. You're all little shining flames. You really are. It's beautiful. You should be so proud of yourselves. I'm honored to know all of you, and I love hearing about you from Basi all the time. She's so proud of you, and you're such inspiration to her. And so I guess what she wanted to talk about tonight is the Rebbe and the way that he is still here and the way that he connects to ordinary people who aren't necessarily so lucky to have grown up understanding his significance from the very beginning, like all of you are. And I think that probably you guys you're so lucky in some ways. In other ways, you probably can be a little bit complacent because I don't know that you understand necessarily how lucky you really are. You know, you were born into families that have a special connection and a special understanding, and from a very young age, you learn and study so much. You know so much more than I'm ever going to, you know, and you're a quarter of my age. So you're really very, very lucky. But I think because you do grow up like that, you're so deeply immersed, you may not realize or remember all the time how lucky you are. So maybe looking at somebody like me, who had a very different type of childhood and upbringing, you can kind of keep in mind really how exceptional your own is and how exceptional your own path is and how exceptional what it is that you're doing really is. Because you'll all grow up to be, God willing, a Basi in somebody else's community, right? And somebody else's life, and that you'll impact grown women much older than you, in huge and important ways. You know, you'll change other people's lives for the better, doing just what it is that you were brought up to do. You probably don't think about it in that way, do you? Or do you? You do. You do. You know that how special it is, what you do, and the way that you learn is.
It definitely helps.
Does it? It's so inspirational to me to look at all of you. You're so lucky. There's so many things that I wonder if I would have done differently if I'd had a different type of upbringing, you know?